What's up YouTube? Georgia Silver Hunter back, and today we'll be doing our weekly $1,000 Brinks wrapped half-dollar hunt. Now, if you've been following the channel, you'll know I've been gone for about, 8 or 9, 10 days since I posted. I was in Las Vegas for 5 days, and for those of you that must know, I did lose a whole bunch of money, but it was within my budget, so things are gonna be okay. But to make up for it, hopefully we find a bunch of silver in one or both of these boxes moving forward. Now, that said, I've opened the boxes. Obviously, I've checked for enders. Don't see any silver on either side of any roll within these two boxes. We do have some 2021 Ps. We've got some 2023 Ds, I think, on the bottom, and we got a little 2007 NIFC right here. You may also notice that this whole back row was cracked, so I think this box may have been dropped during delivery. But we've got those 5 cracked rolls, so we'll be interested to see what's in those. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into these rolls and hopefully find some silver. So as usual, I do want to go ahead and open 5 to 10 rolls here live on camera, just in case we get lucky and end up on the silver early. If we don't find any in these first 5, I'll go off camera and hunt them off camera and bring you in as we find that interesting coins, whether they be NIFCs, no FGs, double die obverses, what have you, any kind of rare or interesting coin that you can find within $half. Of course, silver is the main thing we're looking for, which would be our 1965 to 1970. Those would be 40% silver $half. And 1964 and earlier would be our 90% $half. Now, I've already seen a 2021. Here's a 2022 Philly, not an NIFC, which stands for not intended for circulation. But those are the super shiny coins that you may see as I open rolls on camera. And most coin roll hunters don't collect them because they were released into circulation en masse during COVID, so no one really collects them. There's another 2022. I'm just checking a few of them. There's a 21 Philly. As for the other things I mentioned, like our no FGs or our double die obverses, you can find the full list of things that I hunt, whether it be $half, nickels, dimes, quarters, or pennies, in a document that I have in the description down below this video. So make sure you do check that out if you are also a coin roll hunter or interested in getting started. There is no fee for that. It is a free download from my Google Docs. So just checking here, lots of 2021s. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera. Nothing in these first 5 rolls. I will go back through and look at each and every coin for those errors and varieties that I mentioned. And if I happen to find one, I'll either bring it in as I find them, or maybe at the halfway point we'll come in. If I have enough of them, we will go ahead and review what we found. So with that, I hope to see you early and often. So we have made our way through the first half of box number 1, and I wanted to bring in for a quick recap. It's not been too exciting, but we have come across a few NIFCs, or not intended for circulation coins. We've got ourselves a 2007 Philly, a 2015 Denver, a 2016 Philly, and a 2018 Denver. Now, these are not intended for circulation because they were produced in much lower mintages and they were not supposed to be released into the banking system by the mint. So that's why most coin roll hunters do pull them and make a little bit of a big deal out of them. But individually, especially in this condition that I've got here on the table, not really worth anything more than 50 cents. Now, if you're a collector and you're trying to fill out an album, you may be willing to pay a little bit of a premium just to get that one that you haven't been able to find. But in general, if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to go get a box and I got lucky and found $50 worth of NIFCs, you haven't necessarily hit the jackpot because there aren't that many folks that are going to give you more than 50, maybe 75 cents a coin. And if you try to do that on eBay, eBay is going to eat you alive in fees. The only other coin I wanted to pull you in here for, and I did find this along the way, was a 1972 D. This is one of the years of the no FG. And under this magnification, it is clear, the G right there. You can make out the ghost of the G, but I get this question a lot. I see it in live streams a lot where they're partially gone, and people want to know, does that count? In my estimation, and from looking on places like PCGS, it does not qualify. That F and G need to be completely gone with only bare remnants maybe of the, part of the serif there. And let me put it under the microscope and I'll show you. So over here, especially under the scope, it's nearly invisible. It's actually very, very hard to see. You almost have to lift the coin to get the light to reflect on it. And you can clearly see that G right there. And you can see a little bit of a hump there where the F used to be. So in my estimation, this would not be a no FG. And even looking at the condition under the scope, it's a fairly weak strike and would not grade well, even if we got rid of all the dirt and grime. So on PCGS, you will see a few examples where you get just a little touch of the F here on the edge of the eagle leg and a little touch of the G, kind of the end of the I guess where the G begins. You'll see a little bit of that. But the rest of the F and the G will be completely missing. That's probably the only example I would say where you could say it's not completely gone, but would still count. But even with the naked eye, even with what I had just under the camera here, you can clearly see that G, so it would not count. So hopefully you learned something there, and in the future when you're checking your coins, if you can make out those F or that G at all, does not count. Well, we are at the end of box number 1. Obviously, I have one roll still to fill because we did pull those NIFCs throughout the box. Now, since I brought you in at the halfway point, the only other coins we found were the first year of the NIFCs, 2002 Philly, and we came across a 2014 Philly. None of these are good enough that I would pull to put in a book, so they'll all be going back to the bank. I'm going to go ahead and get that last roll restuffed, put in here ready to go back to the bank, and we're going to go ahead and get into box number 2. Okay, so like box number 1, let's go ahead and get into 5 rolls together just to see how these rolls are looking. Do we have a lot of NIFCs or new coins or silver or proofs? Let's just see what these things look like. Now remember, rolls like 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 were cracked upon delivery, so they will be kind of quasi-open rolls when we get to them. Just wanted to remind you of that. I did not do that. That's what they look like when the box was opened. Right now, these all look like fairly well-circulated coins. Not seeing any silver. No shiny NIFC edges or 21, 22, 23 edges. A couple in here look okay. 1992. Let's see here. 93, so nothing current. And then here's my cracked roll. This might be a little messy. So we got here, and a whole lot of nothing there. Okay, well, like I said, these look well circulated, but this box may turn out to be a lot like box number 1. So let me get into them, and I'll bring you in and give you an update halfway through. So bringing you in here, we're about 35 rolls in, and this is about as exciting as it has gotten here in box number 2. And you can see I've got those 10 rolls, 26 through 35 out here. We've come across a vein of 2023 Denver $50, which we don't get a lot of Denvers to begin with, and starting to see these 2023s throughout. So anything kind of blingy that you see in here as I go through, all 2023 Denvers. Now, I've kept one full roll of those bank wrapped for Philly and Denver for my own personal collection, but I am definitely not pulling those. They're not NIFCs. I do think they're quasi-low mintage, so they might be interesting for you. It's just not something that I pull or collect, but this is literally it. We haven't found anything else, not even like a miscellaneous hold coin or anything. It's been a real slow box. So we're going to go through these for our varieties and errors. Haven't found any of those either, and get through these last 15 rolls. Well, folks, this is how some boxes go. We have reached the end, and we have literally nothing to show for it. There was probably $20 or $30 worth of 2023 Denvers and maybe another $5 or $10 worth of 2021s in that one. But again, we don't hang on to those. We had no NIFCs. We had no errors, varieties, no silver, no nothing. This is what we call a pure skunk box. Now, if you did tap, tap, tap or fast forward to the end, we did have a handful of finds from box number 1, pretty much all NIFCs, and I did cover the 1972 Denver no FG because we had one that was real close, but based on my standards and what I think the standards of the grading companies are, would not qualify. So if you want to see that, go on back, maybe watch the whole video. It's about halfway through. It's just a minute or two of footage you might want to catch. So with that, if you did enjoy this video, or you did learn something, or you did like it, or you just want to support the channel, make sure you drop on down below this video and leave a comment and click that like button. It makes all the difference in the world in the search algorithm, so please just take a moment to do it. I do try to respond to all my comments as well. Sometimes it's just a heart. Sometimes I do take a few minutes to give you a thoughtful response. If you are new to the channel, make sure you do click on that subscribe button and then click that little bell so you get notified each and every time I do release a new video. I'm going to try to get back to posting more regularly. As I've said in past videos, life's been a little crazy and we're just getting back into it. So also special shout out to all my channel members. Thank you guys for supporting the channel each and every month. And if you want to learn more about memberships, there is a join button down below this video if you are on a desktop. On the phone, I don't know exactly where it is, but I'm sure you can find it. So with that said, I hope you guys are doing well. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.